Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Andrew here, back with Car Mechanics Simulator 2021. Here we are. If you look up at the top right corner of the screen, you can see the level is different, the cash flow is different, and there's a reason for that. I actually had to go to a different garage to find a Nissan Silvia. I mean, I don't understand it, you know. However, we do have one right here. I have one. I even got the hood painted too. Now, the only issue I'm having with this, I can't decide on what spoiler to put on the rear. Now, at the end of the video, I will be putting them all on. I bought them all. I will be putting them all on here, and you can decide for yourself which one you like best, and if it's one that can be painted, we'll paint it to match the car, because there's two carbon fiber ones in here. But, if it's not one we can paint, well, then we'll just put it on the car. I do have your 22A wheels. The standard size form is 16 inches. You know me. I can't leave nothing well enough alone. So, the front tires and the rear tires have been upsized to a 21-inch wheel. The width on them is a little bit bigger. So for the front, we'll be running 235s. And for the rear, we will be running 255s. So I still have to get the interior for this, and no, we got the body panels, so we got the body. Now keep in mind, I did start out at $3,060,000 today, so this is Saturday afternoon we are doing this, and yeah. So before we begin on this, what do you say we head to the old junkyard there? See what they got in this one. I haven't been in this one in a minute. Different garage, different everything. So, looking weird, I'll tell you that much. Looking weird, man, looking weird. Now, how many of y'all remember this one? This old girl right there. We built this one on, I think it was a muscle car series? I can't remember. But this is my full-on completed garage here. I got a platinum for this, and like a platinum trophy for this one and everything. So yeah, anywho, let's hop on in the old Nova here. I believe this one's still got a small block Chevy in it. Perfect. And also too, when we get back here, I do want to explain something to the person who asked for the Luxor Bowman. I don't believe I'm able to change the motor in it. However, the motor that does come with the car is, if you look at pictures of the block, it's like the valve covers and stuff like that, it's a representation of the 409 big block Chevy, which originated from the 348, which was Chevy's first big block back in the day, way back yonder. So, all right, what we're going to do is we're going to head to the junkyard, see if we can't find anything there. Now, hopefully, once this car is done, we can go back to the other profiles. So, stay tuned, and we'll see you at the junkyard. Alright, latch that. Perfect. You know the routine. We gotta latch it, man. Can't leave anybody in there. Ooh, what's this? Royal Crown. Dang. I did get it right. Let's close that so nothing can get in there. Alright, let's keep on cruising around here. Yeah, what's this? The SCEO V6 edition. Yep. How did I know? The wheels. It's got the standard style wheels on it. If it had the ones that actually look like the Chrysler 300C wheels, that's the one that would show that. Ooh, she's got the supercharged movement, or she's got some kind of a V8 in her. But anywho, in regards to the Silvia, the reason why I can't decide on the spoiler for it is because the ones in here, in my honest opinion, they don't suit the car at all. They really do not. You either got them too big, too wide, or too tall, too wide, too much of an angle on it, and it's just, they just don't look right on it. So that's why I'm at the end of the video here. Once we're done with all the paint and body work and stuff like that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through all the spoilers, and then you can decide. Ooh, another Challenger. Then you can decide. That's a Hemi. No, it's not. Then you can decide which one you like best on it and stuff like that. Ooh, a Pagani Revolution. It's got 100,000 miles on it. I'm impressed. Somebody drove one of these. You know, for it even being $3,000 more, $29,000. That's not bad, because you make some pretty good bank off of this one. However, I'm not really a fan of the not really a fan of the grass growing inside of here, though. Yeah. Neutral, reverse. Ah, dang! Somebody took the steering wheel and everything out of here. Look at the carbon tub, eh? Right here, everything carbon, carbon, carbon. That's race car stuff. You know what? IRL, if I had the money, I don't know if I'd actually buy one of these. I really don't know. I mean, in the town I live in, no. It's be no good here. It's too low to the ground. Our roads are way too rough. Alright, well, there's nothing really here that I'm interested in purchasing. So, alright everyone, I guess what we're going to do now is I guess we're going to head back to the old shop-a-rooney, and we'll see you when we get there. Alright, here we are back inside the shop here. Let's just going over this car here, trying to figure stuff out on it. You know, just trying to figure out. I guess because it's rear-wheel drive small, I guess that's why it's turboed, you know. I guess that's the reason why it's so sought after, I guess. Anywho, let's get started by, we're going to rip everything off of the car. Put it down to basically bare everything except for the hood. The hood can stay on because that's already been done and painted. And then once we're done with the car, we're going to bring over a handy dandy welder. We're going to set that up as well. And we're going to bring over the cherry picker right here. And then, yeah. So we're installing all these parts. Alright, now we're going to start right here by taking off the caliper. Another brake pub. Rotec. Brand new wheel drive axle. Used wheel bearing. Yeah. None of these parts are going to be put back on this car, just as an FYI. They're all going to be removed and round filed. Do I have one kicking around here? I mean, we got the barrels, but I don't see a garbage can kicking around here. I see a broom. I really do not see a garbage can anywhere. Huh. That's weird. Whatever that is. Dang, I've been in this shop in a minute. Where all this paperwork come from? Laying on the ground. Huh. We'll have to clean that up later, I guess. Anywho, what y'all been up to, man? It's been a minute. You know what I mean? Yeah, sorry for the delay in between this video and the last one there, but been having to deal with some stuff around the house here. Little one there lost her voice, so having to take care of that. Plus, got paid there the other day, so I had to go out and, you know, do all of our bill shopping and stuff yesterday, so. And here we are today. So, I'm trying, it's a lot better than, you know, a week at a time. You know, at least only a couple days in between, right? You know what I mean, man? I get it, man. But it's just, you know. I can legit state, I think I burnt myself out on this one. Because of how many I did. Like, for all those who are new, this is what my channel was built on right here. This one. Car Mechanic Simulator 2021. And the reason why I say it was built on that, even though I don't have very many subscribers right now, and I'm very grateful for the ones that I do have, what I mean by that is I would post a Car Mechanic Simulator video, you know, get decent views. Like, I'm not going to say we'll hit 1 million views, because none of my videos have done that yet. But then if I would post a GTA video, it would get, like, no views. You know what I mean? So I was like, something don't seem right here. So lo and behold, I was just only doing all car mechanic simulator videos, so that's why I did 3 series, I think. I think this one here is number 4. Let's see, we had Road to a Million, just new shop, which actually I think this is what this one was. The new shop, we had the muscle car series, we had this one, which is subscribers choice series, American made. Oh, let's count this one again. We started off with new shop series, I believe it was. Then we went to Road to a Million. Then we went to I want to say then it was muscle car series. And then it went to American made, and now we're on subscriber's choice. So that's not bad, eh? 5 different series. I guess we should take out the bushing here. Yeah, the bushing. You need a bushing. So yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I say my channel was built on this, because of how many series. But like I've explained in previous videos, I love cars. I mean, I really do. You know, you see some people that obsess over them. Nah, they ain't nothing, man. I'm living my world. You know what I mean? Outside of here. It's cars, cars, cars. But, you know, it is what it is. That's just my hobby. It's my passion. Honestly, it was my first love. So, you know. Like my 91, that's one of my kids. But as sad as it sounds, the reason why my 91 is so close to me is because it's reliable. It's only in, we'll say, 11 years for being a 91, with everything original motor, original suspension at that point. Everything was original on the truck, like original body panels, okay? Which is very rare, especially up here in northwestern Ontario, Canada, because, you know, up here is also the rust belt, or slime belt, I guess you could call it, because they use that slime crap on the road and it just destroys the body. So, but, and then, you know, like I said, the truck's never failed me except for one time, and that was my own stupidity. I was getting gas, and I've always had this issue with the truck where the starter wires would come loose. No matter how I tightened them, no matter if I put that red Loctite, like, never get free again, somehow, some way, it would always loosen up, and I could never figure it out. So one time I was out getting gas at the place where I get gas from, because it's the cheapest, and I went to go hop back in the truck after paying for my gas, and all I was doing was click. I was like, oh no. Honestly, at that moment, I didn't know what was wrong with it, because it just ran perfectly fine, you know? I was like, uh-oh, what's going on with this ordeal? But sure enough, it was the infamous starter wires on that truck, and I ended up having to get towed home because, well, I'm sitting there in the way over there. Yeah, I got a little toolkit in the truck, but at that moment, I don't exactly know what is wrong with the truck, because I haven't, you know, kind of in a rush here to get the truck out of the way so other people can use the gas pumps behind me. So I got the dude who was outside working the gas pumps that day to help push the truck off to the side, you know, because whether, you know, even though it's only 1,900 pounds, which is a little secret that nobody knows, you know, yeah, I have a full-size truck that only weighs 1,920 pounds, according to what, or, no, let me rephrase that, 1,920 kilograms. So it's like 3,600 pounds or something like that. Like, it's still, for being a truck, it's still very light. And yeah, but for one person, you know, on a bit of an uphill grade, it's a little bit much. So, I'm not the biggest, strongest guy in the world. I never ever claimed to be that. So, anyway, long story short, the truck came home. I had it back up running in about 10 minutes. And I felt like a first-class heel. So, pretty sure you all understand that. You know what I mean? Something simple that you overlooked. And once again, it was the starter wires. But see, when I check the wires, because the way on how the starter wires are on my 91 is I'm able to stick my hand and I'm able to wiggle them a bit, because like they come right out, like it's right down the inner fender and then down and around, and it also comes down the back side of the block. There's a tube that's back there, which drives me nuts when people rerun their starter wires and they do not put it through that tube, and then they can't figure out why it's melting and burning all the time. That's why. There's a tube on the passenger side of the block that you got to run your wires down. It's like a heat shield. Anywho, I wiggled the wires and they didn't seem loose. I was like, uh-oh, what's going on here? Did my starter finally take a, you know what I mean? So I got it home, and no, it's just loose starter wires. But due to that, it's, you know, got it fixed, and in all honesty, it hasn't really given me an issue since then, knock on wood. But let's pray that it doesn't, because honestly, I think it's more reliable than my 13. That's just my honest opinion, folks. Alright, $1,300, fix the body panels on this truck, or car, I mean, truck, talking about trucks, and just called this a truck. And I told smart, aren't I? Let's put you back. As much as I really do not want to, you are going to have to go back, and I forgot to grab the intercooler out of, oh wait, this doesn't have the intercooler. Now we're going to move you over to car lift A, because that's where we go. This is the shop where we cycle things around. Alright, move you over there. Now, before we go any further, I'm going to see if I have a Luxor Bowman. I don't think I do. Not in here anyway. I do have one in the profile that was originally started the series out in, but I don't have one here. Alright, we got that all there. Yeah, it's all there, ready to rock and roll. Now, oh yeah, before we get going on this, I need to order seats for this car. Now, currently, what we're going to do is we're just going to put the factory seats in. If you so choose that you don't like the look of them, which, you know, I could understand it, let me know. And if you see something in here you like here's where the buckets start. I can't change the bench in the rear. I just can't do it. However, I can change the bucket seats. Here they are. Leave them a little bit of time so you guys can pause, look at this too, and we can go from there. Now, here's your Sylvia seats. We're just, like I said, I'm just going to put the stock stuff on there right now. And if at any point in time down the road, you know, you think, yeah, you know, let's try it with this style seat. Well, mention it up and we'll bring the car back and we'll change it for you. All right, because these cars are the ones that I will not be getting rid of, like the F350, the Sylvia, and the Challenger. I will not be getting rid of those. In fact, what I'm planning on doing is, if I can, I have 8 digits to do on the license plate. I'm going to take part of your guys' names for whoever has mentioned something, and I'm going to somehow put your name on the license plate, like whatever your YouTube name is. I'm not going to go with your real name because I don't know what it is and I don't want to know what it is. I'm happy just knowing the YouTube name. You know what I mean? So, we did buy the steering wheel, right? Just in case I didn't, let's do it again. All right, anywho, let's go build ourselves an SR20. But every time I work on this car, not this one specifically, but just this car in general, a certain line keeps running in my head. Now, if you look up at the top right side of the screen where it says I4 SR20 DET, a couple of Nissan SR20s have pulled a premium one week before Race Wars, don't you think? That line keeps replaying in my head every time I work on one of these cars. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, you know what I mean? It's timeless classic, you know, it's timeless. In my opinion, it's the best one of the entire series is the first one. It's, you know, one where they actually did any sort of racing. Well, except for, I guess, maybe was it number 9 or number 10, where they go back in time. And they remember where they come from. I think it's when Dom's brother Jacob there comes back. You know, but the point is, it's still that first one. You know, Or he puts his mechanic and torches his mechanic, but you know, it is what it is, I guess. That's the way they do things. I don't know. It's not the way I'd be running a business, that's for sure. But anywho, that's that. This is there. Yeah. It is what it is, right? Now, please do keep in mind, we may have to movie magic some stuff here. What I mean by that is just, buy parts and put them on the door instead of waiting for them, or you know what I mean. If you want this recolored, repainted, anything along those lines, let me know. And instead of ripping this motor apart, I'll just build you a new motor for the car and whatever else, But when you only tell me the main body color and stuff like that, you don't say, well, let's do this, like, let's do that. Like, for the Luxor Bowman, like, he said suspension, this color, and can do the drive shaft lime green. I think it was that car. But in regards to the drive shaft, you can't paint drive shafts in this. I've tried. I'd love to be honest. I really would. Like, for instance, what I would do for the American series is I'd do a red transmission, white drive shaft, and blue differential. Red, white, blue. You know what I mean? To me, I think that would look pretty sweet. But I'm not quite able to do that yet, so. Alright, let's put the old fuel filter on. Perfect. However, I did change the color on the head cover here. You're not going to see it yet. But I think it's going to look good. I could be wrong. I could be completely off the map here. But we're going to be running chrome 22A wheels, 21s inch. That's what I meant to say earlier. It's 21-inch wheels, but it is the 22A that you requested. We did paint them chrome. The barrel on the wheel itself is kind of like a flat color, almost like a carbon, I guess you could say. So I think it's going to have a pretty good contrast. I'll put the cam caps on here for this motor. We're going to do this one over here too. And then now we're going to move it on down the line. Let's get this whole thing, just get her all done. But these Nissans, Mustangs, all the DLC cars, I really don't build them all that much. Yeah, they do appear, not this one. This one's like a 1 in a million opportunity to find. And yeah, it's weird because before I started this series, where it was requested to build one, I could find these cars almost every time I went to the junkyard. Every time I went to a car auction, they were always there. But, because when you, I can't show from here, I actually got to go click on the car. But when you actually look at the car, it shows a blue car. Well, that's the exact same picture that it shows more or less when you go to the junkyard, or not the junkyard, but the car auction. And, well, things just don't always work out to our favor. Oh, did I seriously? Ooh, that was nice. Nice. Ooh, nice. Ooh, that looked good. Now it's time to throw the contrasting piece on. Ooh, look at that. That does look good. Then with the chrome. Oh, look at that. Ooh, just look at that. I gotta put the chrome throttle body on, right? Gotta make her all chrome, man. So, let's finish putting those bolts on. Beautiful. I think I'm missing the coil cover for this, if I had to guess. Yeah, if I had to guess there, man. I guess I didn't. Alright, let's put the fuel rail on. No. No. I'm sorry, but no. I can't have that. I'll show you what I mean here in a minute. See? It's just all blended together. It all turned to mush, in my opinion. So, we're going to come over into here. We're going to go down the line here. We're going to go right to this. We're going to go click, click. Perfect. Now, we're going to run back to the garage. Like this door, because it's easier, because we're building the motor. Ow. That reel hurt a little bit. Oh. So. I don't know, I tripped on that crack and it kind of hurt a little bit. Alright, now let's see the difference. Do you see the difference now? breaks it up just a little bit. Doesn't need much. Come on, Turbski, where you at? Uh-oh. We got ourselves a turbo power car. Alright, let's throw the water pump on. The water pump pulley, which is specific to this motor. I'll put the... I'm screwing up. That's what I do. I didn't paint the part, actually. Anywho, yeah. Every now and then, I like to screw up a little bit, you know. There it is, right there. Three different, look at that, eh? 3 different styles of blacks. Got more or less a satin here, a gloss, and then a flat. Actually, this one here looks more like a satin. But that reminds me of a Harley I saw today. I was out shopping with the wife there, and man, this bike was clean. I mean, it was clean, but it wasn't flashy. It wasn't in your face. It was a nice satin black, but it had nice chrome wheels. You know, the accents on the bike were chrome, but the actual bike itself was a flat black. And let me tell you, it looked good. So I was like, had to admire that one for a minute. Never came out of the store, so I wasn't able to say, nice bike, you know, like I normally do. But it is what it is, right? See, I grew up with Harleys, so, well, not me owning them, because I'm not allowed to own Harley Davidsons, or any bike for that matter, because I won't be long for this world if I do get one. Ooh, anybody happen to notice this? S-P-E-C-A. Spec R. Interesting. Alright, let's go. Let's put in the old fuel pump right there. Come on, man. Get in there. What's the matter for you? Get in there, man. Man. Alright, we got that on there now. Alright, let's go over here to the bigger bushings. We gotta put in the bigger bushings, man. Come on, man. Get over there, man. There we go. Alright, let's see. Perfect. There we go. Put the sway bar in. Now we're going to put in the rear knuckle housing. A. Yeah. Okay, that's the one. Yeah. Put in the rear sway bar inlay. Come down over here. We're going to put in a little bushing. We forgot to do something, man. Son of a... No, wait, those are the rears. Where are the fronts? Aww, son of a biscuit. This is what I was talking about. Y'all don't see this. Oops, I meant the wrong mistake. Oh, look at that. We do have them. I just must have misplaced them somewhere. Maybe they're behind this... maybe they're behind this barrel over here or something, you know what I mean? 1903-53. We're just going to leave that there. We're going to walk away from that. I don't know what the deal is here with that one. How did I buy a battery? I didn't need to. Shoot. I just get myself like that, man. Waste money on random parts I do not need, man. Alright, let's put this upper arm on. Now let's put this front arm, trailing arm, I guess it would be. And we're going to put in the shock absorber eye. And now we're going to put in this right here. Perfection. And now we're going to build in the back. Put in the rear lower arm. Perfection. I'm going to put in a spring cap. Rear shock absorber, or rear spring. And the rear shock absorber cap. Why they don't just call that a spring cap 2 or something like that, I don't know. Alright, let's put this in. Beautiful. Alright, now we're going to put the rotor on. Oh, look at that. Fancy ones. We're going to go this way here. I'm not sure if you can be able to see that behind the wheel, but it's body matched anyway, if nothing else. Beautiful, beautiful. Alright, so we got that done. I think we got all 4 calipers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, okay. We don't got to paint no more. Alrighty. I mean, just look at that, man. That look good, right? That look good. Alright, this time though, before we say sign off and say it's finished, we're actually gonna try to start the car this time. Alright, you ready for this one? Here's your wheels. Personally, they could probably be a little bit bigger, but that's what it looks like right there. So looks not too bad. And the fronts are gonna stick out probably just about the same, so it's gonna be pretty darn good. Alright, let's jump on over here to this side. And we'll repeat the process. We're going to start right here. We're going to put this on just to hold something. And we'll put this upper arm on. And now we're going to put this lower arm on right here. Beautiful. Now we're going to put the little bushing back here. Now we're going to put this the other rear trailing arm, I guess you could say. Alright, now we're going to put the rear spring in. Now we're going to put the rear shock absorber cap on. Perfect. Now we're going to put the shock absorber on. Beautiful. Now we're going to put the backing plate on for the brakes. That way then keeps all the dust off the rotor and such. The wheel hub on. Put the 4 bolts in. Now we're going to put the wheel bearing on. Put the drive axle in. Drive axle, that is. Put the rotor on. Put the pad on. Beautiful. Now it's left to the caliper. Now we're going to put this side front arm on. Now we're going to put in the bigger bushing. Awesome. I think it's its caliper and then the wheel. Beautiful. Perfect. Just like that. Alright, now let's jump our way up here to the front cross member. And then while we get up here, let's also stretch back just a little bit here. We're going to put on the middle muffler. It's kind of weird, eh? Never knew they didn't have to have catalytic converters on this car. It's kind of weird, huh? Must be Japan spec, I guess. They don't need cats or anything like that, because this is the first, well, first more or less street car, like non-race car-ish, that I've never had to put the cat converter on. I don't know why they have it like that, but they do. Well, it is what it is. Since we're down here, and I'm right here, let's put this in. Ooh, look at that. Kinda cool. It's in chrome. I need the chrome. Chrome won't get you home, but you know, look good while you're stuck on the side of the road. And I know, well, I got one chrome valve cover on my truck because I went to buy a set back 100 years ago. Not figuratively, but the reason why is because I did what everybody else does. You over tighten the valve cover down, it turns it, and then it starts pressing out and stuff like that. So I went and refixed it, and I went and degreased the valve cover that I took off the truck a couple of years ago, and man, it looked like brand new. I was like, well, alrighty, let's flip this around. Let's do the other side, clean it up, put it on the truck. I think it really looks pretty good. I don't know. It's sticking out like that right now because there's no fender on it. So, alright, jump on over here to this side now. Let's get this all done. Let's start with the inner tie row. Alright, let's put the steering knuckle A on. I don't know why they have to say front, because there is not one car in this entire world here, in this world, that steers with the rear. So, I'm not really understanding why it's so. It's got to be the front, man. Can't put that on the rear, man. It ain't gonna work, man. Man, don't you get it, man? You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, well, I guess there are people that do this that really don't know much about this stuff. And hey, I'm not trying to disrespect you or nothing, man. It's, you gotta learn somehow, right? You're into it, you're into it. If you're not, you're not. It's the way life is, right? I mean, I'm not into working on diesels. I don't know hardly anything about diesels besides don't put the wrong fuel in it. And it doesn't have spark plugs, it has glow plugs that you gotta let warm up before you actually turn the key over. That's all I know. But there you go, bud. How's that looking for you? Whew. Alright, before we put the motor in, which I should have already put it in, we are actually going to run this over here to the paint shop. But before, I just want to look at it, on its own height. Ooh. Looking good, looking good. I tried to balance out the width on the wheels, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Alright, while we're here, they said they dropped it off over here, the interior. I see, what is this? Look at all those plates. Oh yeah, okay, there they are right there. Beautiful. Awesome. There's another one right there. Cool. So we got the seats. Yeah. Let's go ahead and put this beast together and get it painted and bring it back to the shop. How about that, huh? Start with the rear bench. I'll go to the driver's side, passenger side, steering wheel. Yes, this is a right. Oh, I see. I already had one. This is a right-hand drive car, so yep, it is on this side. All right, now we're gonna put the body panels on, man. Start with the door, the window, the other window, all the windows. I'm wondering what it looked like with chrome mirrors. E-P-I-S-O-D-E. Now that's 8 letters in itself. I'm just trying to figure out a way to keep track of everything. You know what I mean? Like with the cars itself and such. So. Alright. Perfection. Alright, now as far as I know, before we begin, it should be in the 90s. Beautiful. Parts are only at 52% because, well, we're kind of empty. Alright. There you go, bud. There it should be. There's no liveries, there's no graphics. But there you go. There's your dark blue Nissan Silvia. I do have to say, I think it looks a lot better than what that orange would have. Now, don't get me wrong. If the color looks good on the car, I'll say it. But me personally, I don't think orange would have looked good on this car. It may have, it may not have, but I don't really know. So, anywho, pop this back up. What is this? We got some junk in here. Got some junk in the trunk. Alright, let's pull this. We don't need that in there anymore. We don't need this. We've got all brand new stuff coming. And let's go get the Chawa Pekka. Put this over there. Right there. Alright, now we're going to add this. We're going to start up here. I'm going to add the foos box. Ay caramba. This drives me nuts. It's like you're under the hood. I'm sorry, but this really ticks me off with this. It's like you're under the hood. You got all this stuff, but if you do not click on the hood, you can't touch nothing under the hood. Or you don't touch you don't click where the engine's supposed to sit, you can't touch nothing under the hood. And that really irritates me about this. Because I'm sorry, if I can, like on a real vehicle, if I can reach through the wheel well to get something, I'm going to be reaching through the wheel well to get something. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be sitting there only going under the hood. I'm going in any which way but loose direction to get it. So, I mean, it is what it is, right? So, alright, put in these C's. And we got some A, B's, and C's over there we got to deal with. Now, I didn't buy the fuses or relays or nothing for this car specifically. I just have 50 of each one in this garage, so I would like to be prepared here, man. Alright, I think we're almost done. Alright, put this on. I mean, once we hook it up, and I should have aligned it when we were over there. Hey, did you guys see that over there? Look at that. Look at that. Look at that star in the sky. I remembered almost everything else but a few components. Now the air box. Air filter box. Air filter. Air filter lid. Now we gotta go with the clip A's. Yeah, but that's one big pet peeve I have about this one though. It's like you're under the hood, no matter what. It's you'll be able to take stuff off. You don't need to necessarily specifically. What's the word here I'm looking for here? You don't necessarily only need to be at the motor itself to be able to take stuff apart. Like, look, I'm way over here, but because I clicked on the motor, I can do things. I don't know. I didn't make it, but I use it. Alright, let's bring this, spin you around, spin you right around, perfect. Take you, ow. And what we're gonna do, alright, we're gonna grab this, we're gonna do this. This is the motor out of the car. This is the new one we're putting in the car. Oh, just look at that. That look good. That look good. Alright, first things first, it's right here in the open. Let's put some coolant in it. I'll put some breaker fluid in. You know, what I would really like to be able to do is, if you look on the head cover there, how it's got Nissan, probably, I think it's twin cam, 16 valve, right? Here, I'll show you guys. See how it says Nissan and then twin cam, 16 valves? I would really like to be able to change that color. You know, say for instance with this car, either do the letters chrome or do them white. I think those would really pop, and in my opinion, I think it would look really good. You know what I mean? But without having that abilities or those options, it's not really all that easy to do. And I've done a lot of procrastinating in this episode here. Because the only parts I've edited out is going from here to the junkyard and back. Other than that, you guys have seen everything else. Was this in the right way? Yeah! forwards. Learn the message. Get up the program. Put it so we can see it. But yeah. Anywho. We got to fill up this last jug. Put the transmission, drive shaft. Bring it over to get done. I hope you like it. Alright. Put in the old transmission here. Put in the old Stadawada. We got one. It's just, it's down the hallway and to the left a little bit. Then we got to go down the road. Perfect. Just like that. You know what I mean? We have it. It's just there. It's just being stubborn. Now let's slide this drive shaft up in and over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 90, 100, 100, 100. Now the reason why it's 90 is because there's no front or rear plate on it. So $122,000. Woo-wee. He's a beast. But there you go there, sir. Or ma'am. Pretty sure it's sir. Here's your car. Right there. I have to say, dark blue, definitely. Orange, I mean, it probably look all right with an orange, I guess, maybe. But no, that dark blue really makes it pop, especially with the chrome wheels. Looking good, man. And one of these days, I'm gonna do. This is back. Feels like near the beginning, actually. Is, I'd go on about discussing, more or less backspacing in here, and I had a comment, they'd really like it if we could show them what I'm talking about. I think maybe we'll do an episode on that where we just go over this stuff. You know what I mean? And we'll just figure it out, stuff like that. I didn't do this with the truck or the Challenger because, well, I don't know why. Maybe we'll just start it up today. I don't know. .5, 9. There we go, we got the 9. 7.5. Huh. 8. 10. 16. Perfect. We got it right, man. We got it right where we want it. Alright, so from factory, this car is supposed to have 250 horsepower at 6,700 RPM and 211 pound-feet of torque at 5,500 RPM. Let us see how much we've increased that by. Oh, start. Go, baby, go. Ooh, she's off the charts. Ooh. Alright. So the new numbers now are 438 horsepower at 6,800 RPM and 354 pound-feet of torque at 5,800 RPM for an increase of 188 horsepower or 76% and 144 pound-feet of torque or 68%. The drag rating for this car now is officially a B at 306. So, alright. Now, right now, there is no spoiler on this. The reason why I'm not putting a spoiler on this right now is because I basically ran out of time for this video itself because I did too much dang talking myself. So, what we're going to do is there will be another video, possibly tomorrow, and we will go through the different spoilers on it where I can spend the whole video on it. So, you know, I can show you different angles, different this, different that, so that way then you can see for yourself which one you like best, and then you can choose for yourself. But anywho, guess what? Here's your car, man. Except for there's one factor I forgot to do. Crap. Almost screw up the main feature of it, because this is really going to make it look good. Alright, let's try this one again, shall we? Perfect. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. It looks very, very sporty. But alrighty, now that way then people can't really see that there's no spoiler on it. So nonetheless, you know, I think this looks pretty darn good myself, I might have to say. So I think that's going to do it here for this episode. Like I said, we will do a specific video on the spoiler itself. Stay tuned, and yeah, actually I'll probably put that one out today maybe as well, just after this one maybe. I don't know, it's hard to say. But anywho, thank you all very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we shall catch you all on the next one.